Hey legends, welcome back to Here's Rodder's Reviews. I'm your host, Rodney Stewart, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. One more time, this is the Valley of Power, and in this episode, there's a guy, a villain, a new character we haven't seen before, who is called, let me just check his name here, Donovus. He is exploring the Valley of Power. He's heard the reports, the legends of the Valley of Power. And one of the legends is there is a Muller Row, a giant bird that protects the Valley of Power from people that are coming into it to screw about with the natural order of things. So that plays a big part in this episode and the moral of the story. So not long after entering, he does see this giant bird, but manages to sidestep it slightly. And what he wants to do is he wants to find the Muller Row's nest, steal her egg, and when the baby hatches, he can train it to become his pet and use it as a weapon to come to power in Eternia. It's interesting, yet another episode without Skeletor or any of the main villains. That has surprised me in the rewatching of this series. I'm at the point of the series now where it's fresh to me again. Like I have seen them all at one point in the history. Like this show came out 83, I was born 79, so small child when I seen this show originally, and this is the first time at 42 years old getting through all of it again, so it is fresh water for me. So while he's up trying to steal the egg, manages to get it, Prince Adam, Cringer and Teela, they are also in the Valley of Power, because the sorceress has told them that there's this magical spring of water that comes up once every 1,000 years, and it grants magical powers to the person that drinks from the water. And Teela is there, and she's saying, you know what, it could make you, Prince Adam, and you, Cringer, as strong and heroic as He-Man and Battlecat. Teela doesn't know that they're Prince Adam and Cringer are actually He-Man and Battlecat, and we all know how that came back to bite everybody on the backside with Masters of the Universe Revelation, a show, by the way, that I am enjoying. I'm looking forward to season 2 at this point. So they're searching for the spring that's due to come up. They find it at this point. It's still dry. The waters hasn't risen yet. The sorcerer said it would happen today, but at what time, nobody knows. So they come across Donovus getting chased by the Muller Row. She got back to her nest. The egg is gone. She has seen Prince Adam, Teela, Cringer. First of all, they're the first ones she's seen. She comes after them, but she goes after Donovus as well. Teela saves Donovus and reveals that they are there to find out about this, waiting for the magical waters to pop up. So he's like, you know what, I could use that to my advantage as well. During another attack from the Muller Row, everybody gets separated. Donovus, Teela go one way, Prince Adam and Cringer go the other way, giving Prince Adam the opportunity to call on the power of Grayskull with the power sword to transform into He-Man and Battlecat, and they enter the fight as well against this Muller Row, and she manages to grab hold of Teela, take her back to her nest, and she's holding Teela captive up there. So He-Man, Battlecat are going to try and save her. At this point, the magical waters do come up from the spring. Donovus is in there along with the egg that he has stolen, and he drinks the waters, becomes powerful with his magic, and the egg hatches, and the magical powers of the waters actually grow the baby row to full size, and Donovus actually uses his newfound magic to enchant the baby row to become evil like him. So he gets on the bird's back and goes after He-Man and Teela, and the Muller Row gets scared off for a bit. there's quite a few action sequences in this episode of He-Man trying to save Teela, fight against Danovus with this giant baby row, essentially, that he has under his spell. And there's one point in the episode where the baby row with Danovus lifts He-Man, and the bird grabs him with her 2 feet and carries him up into the sky and drops him onto this cliff, and he falls off the side of it. And at one point he's trapped, and the only way he can get off it is by grabbing these 2 huge leaves, and he falls again, and he's like, the only way out of this is to learn how to fly very quickly. And he starts waving his arms with these 2 giant leaves, and actually manages to soften his fall enough to get down on the hard ground again. But he's like, that was a lot of fun, but this was blatantly for the kids at home watching the episode. That was a lot of fun, but I wouldn't recommend anybody try that. And Battle Cat is like, I am brave, but I'm not stupid enough to try that. So it's just like, you know what, this is a cartoon, we're here for entertainment purposes. We know a lot of kids are watching this, but at the same time, don't do the stuff that we're doing in this episode. Don't be stupid. Grow up like a sensible adult, unless you're like me, a complete and utter idiot. Anyway, Danovus reveals he's going to attack the palace, but the king and queen, they're gone, holidays to the ocean. Man-at-Arms is off doing something along with the army, so the whole palace is deserted apart from Orko, so he's only one there to protect it. So you're in trouble when that's your situation. Battle Cat manages to talk to the Mother Row. When she returns, he can understand what she is saying, so he's like, I think she'll be able to understand me. So he's able to communicate with the Mother Row and explains the situation, and she actually comes in on the side of the good guys to stop Danovus and try and get her child back. And they get to the palace in time to stop a hardcore attack, and Teela and Orko are sent to the sorceress to get an antidote for the magic that the baby row is under. We're going to stop Danovus, but we need something to return the baby row to its mother. And the sorceress, of course, she's on Grayskull. She's watching everything in her magical mirror monitor, sort of a deal. So she sets up this potion to restore the bird back to the way it should have been at the beginning without being under this magic spell. Teela and Orko arrive to get it. Orko falls through the window again. The both of them are on the back of the Mother Row, and Orko is slipping off the side. And just as they reach the castle, he slips off, goes through the window into the room where the sorceress is at, and actually knocks over the antidote, and a little bit of it spills on him. So he reverts back to a childhood state. And when Teela gets into the castle, the sorceress is actually nursing Orko like a small child, and he's like making baby noises. But she's like, it's okay, there's only a small drop got on him, he will go back to normal very soon, a few seconds only, and he's back to his old self again. And Teela grabs the antidote, and off the 2 of them go. But the sorceress also tells her that, don't worry about Danovus. The magical powers will grant you magic, but it only lasts for a certain amount of time, and it will wear off. So it's just a matter of trying to stop him at this point and get the antidote into the baby row. So to cut a long story short, and too late, you're saying, at 10 minutes, they do manage to eventually stop Danovus, and using the Sky Raider, He-Man whistles, Sky Raider turns up flying automatically. At this point, him and Battle Cat both are in the clutches of the baby row, and he manages to loosen the grip on the board and drops Battle Cat into the Sky Raider. I want to say Sky Raider, is that or Wind Raider? I just want to be sure I'm actually calling it by its right name, Wind Raider. And Battle Cat is like, what the heck are you doing? I can't fly this damn thing. It's the best part of this episode is the dialogue between He-Man and Battle Cat. There's a lot of smart one-liners between the two of them. Battle Cat is giving He-Man serious abuse throughout this episode. It is absolutely hilarious. It's one of these episodes where I'm sitting with a big smile on my face watching it. It's so good, the relationship between Battle Cat and He-Man in this episode. Eventually He-Man manages to loosen the grip of the Baby Rogue, climb up onto its back and throw himself and Danavis off the back of the Baby Rogue, and he whistles once again. The Wind Raider comes, he falls in there, gets control of it and lands with him, Battle Cat and Danavis safe. And Danavis, he's like on his face on the ground, like, you know, terrified because he almost died, and he's kissing the ground like, I love it, love it, love it, dirt, dirt, it's great. And He-Man laughs as Teela turns up with the Mother Row with the antidote, and He-Man jumps back into the Wind Raider, flies up to the Baby Row and throws this antidote into its mouth, and it's returned back to its normal state. Still fully grown now, but it's still a child at heart. And the Mother Row, the Baby Row, fly off into the sunset, and it's a nice happy ending. But Teela reminds Orko, he's worried about Danavis, what the heck we're going to do with him. But she's like, don't forget, the sorceress told us that the magical properties of the water will wear off eventually. And He-Man puts him in cuffs, takes him into custody. He says, until this happens, we're going to have to keep an eye on him. But Danavis is just like, everything that he's gone through, he's just like, I'm not going to be doing anything like this ever again. I'm going to do my best to make up for my wrongdoings, as long as I can do it with both feet on the ground. So he's got the life scared out of him. He got a taste of what he wanted, and he didn't like what he'd seen. So at the end of the episode, the PSA at the end of it is He-Man himself pops up, and he tells everybody, you know, in today's episode, Danavis went into nature. It's nice to get out and enjoy nature and take it easy in there, but, you know, don't be messing about with the natural order of things, just like Danavis in today's story, by stealing her egg. Really tormented the Mother Row. And if you're going out to enjoy nature, leave it the way you found it, so the next person that comes after you can enjoy it just the way you did. Great episode. I'm telling you, it's literally, there's a point where it doesn't say it in the episode, but the relationships between the characters are very, very good in He-Man, the Masters of the Universe. And as you all know, Teela is the daughter of the sorceress, and if you didn't know that, spoilers, I'm so sorry. That's going to play a big part in part 2 of Masters of the Universe Revelation. But there's a point where Orko and Teela are in the castle along with the sorceress, and we go through the whole thing with the antidote, and Orko been a small child mentally for a few seconds when he gets splashed by it, and Teela thanks the sorceress, and she walks out, and she's literally holding Orko by the hand, and he's like dangling below her holding the antidote, and she walks out of the room, and the sorceress puts this big smile on her face. And it doesn't say it in the episode, but to me it applied it. That's like, it was, you'd think more or less that she's smiling because of what's going on between Teela and Orko, what she is a part of, but at the same time, this is her daughter leaving, and she's just like, the smile of a mother is what I took from it. Brilliant show. I can't believe I've sat in this box set for so long and not seen it. I do believe, if memory serves, and I know it was a Christmas present from my brother, but I'm pretty sure I was about 32, probably younger, whenever he bought it for me, because he knows when they made these cartoons. So I've been sitting in this box set for well over 10 years at this point, and I'm gutted to myself didn't get into this any sooner. Absolutely fantastic little episode, this one, and I would highly recommend it. Guys, thank you so much for checking out the video. Please consider subscribing to the channel, and if you do, don't forget to turn on that bell icon to be notified of future uploads. And please check out some of the other videos on this channel while you're here.